Let's be honest for a second. When you hear you've got to make a trip to the DMV or the Michigan Secretary of State office, what's your immediate gut reaction? Right? For most of us, it's just pure dread. You picture endlessly long lines, confusing paperwork, and honestly, that literal nightmare of getting all the way to the front of the line only to be told you brought the wrong piece of paper. But what if we completely flipped the script on that? Seriously, what if I told you that by prepping properly and following the exact roadmap we're laying out in this explainer today, you could get in, handle your business, and be walking back out to your car in an average of just 20 minutes? Sounds crazy, I know, but it is entirely possible. Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are building the ultimate roadmap to getting your Michigan State ID. Look, whether you don't drive and just need a primary ID for opening a bank account, or you're trying to get your documents in order for those upcoming federal travel deadlines, having a valid state ID is a foundational piece of modern life, and we're going to make getting one incredibly simple for you. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step roadmap for today. First, the Michigan ID essentials. Second, gathering your 4 documents. Third, booking and the office visit. Fourth, after submission and timeline. Fifth, special cases and fee waivers. And finally, number 6, important disclaimers. Section 1, the Michigan ID Essentials. Why you need one and the rules of the road. The absolute first thing you need to know about this credential is a strict fraud prevention rule called the dual credential prohibition. Basically, in the state of Michigan, you cannot hold both a valid state ID card and a valid driver's license at the same time. It's strictly one or the other. So if you currently have an active driver's license and you want a state ID instead, you've got to be prepared to voluntarily surrender those driving privileges. It's just how the state ensures there aren't duplicate credentials floating around out there, which really helps maintain the integrity of their records. Now, Michigan actually offers a few different tiers of identification based on your citizenship status and your travel habits. A standard ID is great for everyday, local use, but heads up, it will not be accepted for domestic flights or for entering certain federal facilities after May 2025. If you want that kind of access, you'll need a Real ID compliant card or the Enhanced ID. The enhanced version costs a little bit more, but it is fully TSA approved and even lets you do land and sea border crossings into places like Canada and Mexico. But for the vast majority of folks who are just looking for a standard identification card, the base application fee is a super accessible $10. Just $10 makes getting an official government-issued photo ID totally within reach for most of the population. Section 2, gathering your 4 documents, the 4-bucket rule. All right, this is the part that usually trips everyone up, but we are going to eliminate all that guesswork right now. Before you even think about putting your shoes on and heading to an office, you need to physically build a specific blueprint on your kitchen table. You have to fill 4 specific slots to successfully process your application. To fill that blueprint, you're pulling documents from 4 distinct buckets. Bucket 1 is Social Security verification. Bucket 2 is legal presence. Bucket 3 is photo identity. And bucket 4 is Michigan residency. Now listen closely to this part because it's absolutely crucial. While the first 3 buckets only require a minimum of 1 document each, that Michigan residency bucket strictly requires 2 separate documents. Do not forget that second residency document. Let's break down what actually qualifies here. For Social Security, if you don't have your physical card, a W-2 or a pay stub with your full number works totally fine. For legal presence, a certified U.S. birth certificate or a valid U.S. passport is perfect. For photo identity, an expired out-of-state ID or military ID will do the trick. And for your 2 residency documents, a recent utility bill or a bank statement are great bets. Now here's the catch. While electronic copies of your bills are totally fine to just show on your phone, you cannot use a P.O. box for your address, and absolutely no photocopies are allowed for things like your birth certificate. Original or certified documents only. Section 3. Booking and the office visit. Turning your paperwork into a physical ID. Let's transition from staring at a stack of paperwork in your house to actually taking physical action. Michigan is home to 131 Secretary of State branches. And while, yeah, walk-ins are possible, you risk major waitlist challenges that can literally derail your entire day. The absolute secret to unlocking that 20-minute average visit we promised earlier? Schedule your appointment online ahead of time at michigan.gov/SOS. Aim for those mid-morning, mid-week slots to avoid the rush. You can even pre-fill your ID application form online before you go, or simply grab a physical form right when you walk through the doors. Once you get called up to the counter, there is zero need to be intimidated, because here is the exact sequence of events you're going to experience. Step 1, the clerk will verify those 4 buckets of documents you brilliantly prepared. Step 2. If you happen to be transitioning from a driver's license or dealing with specific renewals, a quick vision test might happen. Step 3. Stand on the mark and look at the camera, because a brand new, highly secure photo will be taken. And step 4, you pay your $10 fee. Bam, that's it. You are done. Section 4. After submission and timeline. What happens when you leave the office? You paid your fee, you took your photo, and you are walking out the door. The hard part is officially in the rear-view mirror. You'll leave the office with a temporary paper document, but your actual, newly redesigned, highly secure ID card is going to be mailed directly to your home address, usually within a few weeks. If you run into unexpected delays, it's always smart to double-check that your mailing address matches exactly. And once it arrives, definitely note that your new ID is valid for 4 full years, and it's set to expire precisely on your birthday. Keep that tucked in the back of your mind, because renewing on time in 4 years means you completely bypass any annoying late fees.
Section 5, Special Cases and Fee Waivers. Overcoming specific application hurdles.
We know life doesn't always fit into a perfect little box, right? And the state actually has built-in mechanisms to ensure that no resident is left behind simply because of their life circumstances. If that $10 standard fee is a hurdle, you might be eligible for a no-fee ID, meaning it costs exactly $0. Michigan offers these fee waivers to seniors age 65 or older, individuals who are legally blind, armed forces veterans, folks receiving state assistance, and anyone currently experiencing housing insecurity or homelessness. The whole system is designed to provide a safety net so that cost is never a barrier to obtaining vital identification. And speaking of housing insecurity, you might be wondering how you pass the 2 residency documents rule if you don't have a traditional address, a lease, or utility bill. The state has a dedicated alternative route for that. You can prove your residency by providing a verification letter from a public service agency or shelter, along with a Homeless Management Information System, or HMIS, photo ID. This specific pathway really empowers everyone to get the credentials they need to access jobs, banking, and housing. Section 6. Important disclaimers. Bureaucracy changes, so verify first. Look, we love giving you this ultimate roadmap, but we also want to keep you grounded in how government systems actually work. Remember that bureaucracy is a living, breathing thing. Laws get updated, federal guidelines shift, and exact procedures at your local branch can absolutely evolve. What works perfectly today might have a slight tweak tomorrow. Because of that, we have to include this vital disclaimer. Information is based on current procedures and is subject to change. Always verify details with official Michigan state resources before your visit. Seriously, it takes 2 seconds to hop onto michigan.gov/SOS just to ensure that the document requirements haven't shifted right before you head out the door. We have covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, from the dual credential rule to the 4 document buckets to finding those low wait times for your 20-minute visit. So I want to leave you with this one vital question. With the May 2025 federal deadline rapidly approaching, are you Real ID ready? If not, you now have the exact roadmap to go fix that. Gather up your documents, book your appointment online, and go get it done. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer, and we will see you on the next one.